Well, oh,
Oh, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Another wonderful week for you guys to be on air with. Your old pals Dare to Disagree. I am not your host this week, Jonathan Esther out of California.
and this is the illustrious Alone in the Dark out here in Colorado.
This is your hate-filled friend, the Puppet Master.
Not gonna lie to you, Alone in the Dark. That fucking shirt, though. That fucking shirt.
She apparently just teasing some high school kids with the titties moments ago.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's all good. I've been next to those things, and I'll tell you what, I'll take him over a clam bake any day. Anyway, I know y'all got something to talk about, but since OU did their race chant thing, I get to start. Because, you know, you guys are racist, so, you know. Anyway, quick rant. So a lot of outrage, as usual, has been done about the OU chant thing, which is, I think it's deserved. I think if you're going to go on a tirade about racism with these guys, fine, have your fun. Personally, I'm a little tired. Like, it's been an exhausting year for my racist muscles, and I'm just worn out. It's just worn the fuck out, man. I need some racist recovery. This is too much. So, I mean, I know we know it's out there, but the news is just now catching on, and they're just super eager to force feed us.
Look,
I'm just good. Here's what I will say.
Yeah, hey, you know racism is bad right now, or the media, when a black man's tired of playing the race card.
dude, I'm so fucking exhausted. But I'll tell you what. I was just pointing to Alone in the Dark, as a matter of fact. Quick side note. I was pointing to Alone in the Dark, as a matter of fact. How weird. I had a conversation recently. We were having an argument. I was having an argument online with someone, and Alone in the Dark happened to follow it, and he jumped in here and there. And I told him, because he saw this happen, I'm at a weird position in my life where I have white people playing the reversed racist card at me. What that means is I'll be in the middle of an argument with, and this doesn't matter whether they're conservative or liberal. The only thing that matters is the delivery. So I'll be in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, well, literally, that's the conservative voice. When they go, they'll go, I'm not racist. I have tons of black friends, or I know black people, or I have no problem with black people. That's how it goes with the conservative. And with the liberals, what happens is in the middle of a conversation, for no reason, they're just going to go, I'm going to tell you what, man, I don't know why people got to hate other people just on the color of their skin. And I'm just like, dude, we were talking about Lamborghinis. What's wrong with you? Like, the fuck does that have to do with the Lamborghinis? I mean, I get what you're saying. Thank you for being in my corner, I guess. But the fuck does that have to do with anything? Anyway, the point I was going to make about the OU thing is this. No one now should be shocked that a high-end fraternity in a pretty decent school is having racist chants. That's not what's shocking to me. That's not new. No one should be shocked that the conservative media or any media whatsoever might defend these guys. That's par for the course. I got to watch a nice little blurb, I believe it was MSNBC or something shit, where one of the guys was trying to say, because Waka Flocka was supposed to perform at that school, and he canceled his concert, and basically they were like, it's people like Waka Flocka that are making these kids say this. Which I was like, look, man, there's a difference between Waka Flocka rapping his ignorance, which, by the way, black and white agree Waka Flocka is ignorant as fuck, and there's a difference between him rapping his ignorance and using the N-word frequently, dumb, I know, and a bunch of white kids singing, you'll never have a nigger in our fraternity, you can hang him from a tree, so on and so forth. That is just blatant racism. Anybody who's even trying to find a cool aspect to that shit, that's like finding a cool aspect to a couple of points Nazis might have about Jews. I'm sure there are some.
Whoa.
Do you want to be the guy defending them?
You're telling me that chant's not okay?
And my question is,
look, I'll say this. Hugo Boss made some dope-ass outfit for those boys, but that don't mean nothing.
I know, right?
what the fuck did...
Now, yeah, you can say whatever you want. The Nazi uniform was sharp.
It was.
That bitch was sharp.
My question is, what the fuck did trees ever do wrong?
Agreed, yo. What the fuck are trees getting in? You know what? Trees are as much a victim in this as the black people. But anyway, that's not my point. My point was this: the fallout from that event. The fallout from that event was the two kids that are prominent in the video got expelled, and of course they came out with a proper apology and all that shit. And the heads of the fraternities of that school made formal apologies. The one of the major, I think the principal of that school made an apology, and all branches of that fraternity all across the United States has had a comment of some sort. All that is fine and dandy. All that is par for the course. Apologies are nice, even though they're not meant. But here's where I have a problem. When they talk about that video, they only talk about those two boys that were prominent in the video. That entire bus was singing that song. That entire bus. From the small count, I counted minimum 10 people. That's not counting from where the camera was filmed back. That's just counting from where the camera was filmed forward, right? At least 10 people in that bus. All singing the song, all singing the lyrics accurately. That tells me two things. One, that shit was not a new song to those fuckers, to anyone on that bus. That entire bus knew the entire lyrics to that song perfectly. Two, if you watch that video, everybody is pretty casual and relaxed, which means these aren't dumb kids. They're well aware of what the fuck they're saying, happily. If they're saying that shit out loud as happily as they are, this is not the fucking first time that entire group has gotten involved in shenanigans of that sort. You could give any excuse you want for that, but if that entire fraternity in that school isn't being completely shut down,
They did.
yeah, that entire fraternity needs to be shut down, period. So I'm glad that happened. Good. Because I was a little worried at first that they weren't, because I wasn't hearing enough about that branch, that fraternity being shut down. But second off,
hold on. They literally had 24 hours to vacate the premises and get off campus.
good. But another thing that kind of amused me about that video, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Like when I went, obviously, when you see something like that, I like to torture myself, so I go on YouTube and read the comments, because that's never ended badly. So I went on YouTube and I just kind of glance at the general comments, see what the general, not for the people who bash it, obviously, but the defense. And there were plenty of defenses for it. But one of the common defenses I kept running into was something we've talked about on this show that I would love to reiterate. Lots of people were saying, yeah, and we're not obviously talking about the guys that were like, no, fuck them, they're allowed to say whatever they want, yada yada. We're talking about the people that were actually trying to bank this on the First Amendment. And we've talked about this before on this show. These guys are completely within their right to say whatever they want. Those kids are completely within their right to sing those songs on that bus. I'm entirely within my right to meet a random stranger on the street and call his mom a saggy titty cow. Whatever happens after that is a response to my freedom of speech. And I don't think enough people truly accept that. Like they feel like just because you have the freedom of speech, you should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. Yes, I agree. There are consequences though.
Absolutely.
So do I think there's anything wrong with them kids saying what they said? Yeah, I think it's terrible, deplorable, and I hope the worst for them for a long period of time. Do I think that these kids shouldn't have the ability to say that on any property they want? Absolutely not. It's like me and Alone in the Dark talked about a little while ago. They just recently banned the Dixie flag on most government property in California, which there was a nice little back and forth, and I see where they're coming from on both sides. Personally, I think they should keep it. It's easier for me to spot the racists in the crowd. So, if I walk up to you and you got a Dixie flag shirt, well, I know I have a little bit of an idea of your background. So I don't know. I just feel like motherfuckers need to calm down about that shit. As long as that whole fraternity got shut down and those motherfuckers put out an apology, which we all know they don't mean, but they did the dance. Move on.
Yep. Well, you know, there's a difference between your freedom of speech and your freedom of hate speech. And I do believe you should be able to say whatever you want. But there's a moral line that once you cross it, like you're saying, there are definitely consequences. You're allowed to say it, but it don't mean that you can't get in trouble for that shit. I mean, hate speech, no matter how you go about it, is a hate crime. It really is.
Hmm.
So just to let you
Oh
guys,
Christ, that does not sound good.
I went on the Loyal White Knights website to see if they talked about this,
Oh, God.
and I
You leave my brothers alone.
current events part, okay? But I did find a joke section.
Ah, fucking Christ. Alright.
And,
Are you about to read a bunch of racist jokes on the air?
and these guys just I can't. I mean,
We're
I can't,
next. You realize that we're gonna be on Fox News. Like, look at
Alright,
these
wait,
motherfuckers.
let me ask you at the very least, if we're gonna thoroughly offend everybody with deplorable humor, which is the perfect example of the worst in humanity, is it at least funny?
I think Cole
I think so.
when I say this level of ignorance is fucking hilarious, okay?
Oh shit.
Once you get to this this point, it just goes, man. Like here's one. Why were so many African Americans?
Wait, what? Oh, okay. That's you. Okay, that's you paraphrasing. Go ahead. I was about to say, like, are you sure you're on the right website, dog? Because that's not how it reads to me.
Why were so many African Americans killed in the Vietnam War?
Oh, wow. Okay. Why?
Because when the sergeant said to get down, they all got up and started dancing.
Yeah. I get the joke, but yeah. I've heard better.
I can't even. What does a female African American, which the word they used in place of that is, and an ice hockey player have in common?
What do they have in common?
They both changed their pads after 3 periods.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
These freaking people just, I mean, imagine just having a sounding board of everybody agrees with you and getting away with this crap, you know?
Yeah.
I found a book when I was a kid. I won't say where I found it, but it was a bunch of Polish jokes, okay? And it was the most ridiculous stuff I have ever seen in my life. And it turns out when racists are joking back and forth with each other, there's no one to really go, wait, that's not really funny. Like, that's not a good joke, you know? Like, because then you, what, you love Polish people now? No, it's just, the joke sucked. You know, like, there's no level of freaking, you know, what do you call it?
There's
Quality control.
yeah. You know what's funny? I think, I don't know if it's you guys we had this conversation with. I've had this conversation with someone before where we talked about the fact that the only way to get stronger is to constantly face adversity. You know, if you're not being challenged, you're gonna suck eventually. Period. No matter what you do. So whether it be that, whether it be, you know, like schoolwork or whatever, if you're not finding a partner or a group of people who are trying to advance themselves and educate you with different point of views, it's I don't know, you just stay stagnant. It's kind of part of what's awesome about this show to me. It's like nobody that comes on this show, we don't all have the exact same point of view, but what's that saying, like you need to be, oh fuck, I'm gonna completely butcher this, so let me paraphrase it. It's basically you need to have the wisdom to entertain someone's ideas without accepting them.
Yeah.
Something along, I want to say it's a Hemingway quote. I completely butchered it, but it basically translates to you need to have the ability to take someone else's word that might be completely contrary to yours and see their point without you completely going, oh yeah, they're 100% right no matter what.
Yeah.
See,
You know?
I equate this to incest. You keep circulating the gene pool, and everybody just gets dumber.
You know, it's hilarious you said that. I was gonna talk about
Oh God.
pure breed dogs. Like, no, it's you're exactly right, man. People think pure breed are a good type of thing and whatever. Turns out pure breeds are just inbred dogs, and they're actually all really, really sick.
Oh,
Like, like the truth is, you want a mutt. That's what it turns out. Like, the healthiest dogs are mutt. They're mixed gene pools.
I think Bella's dad is her grandpa too,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
or her great grandpa. One of the two. I can't remember.
Well, at least she's kind.
She is. She's a great dog.
But that's something I noticed is, I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to this rule, but every time I've met a freaking hardcore racist, you know, like not just somebody who holds their purse tighter than an alligator, but somebody who's really serious about fucking racism, they've always been fucking losers. Like,
Yeah.
racist is because you have to feel better than somebody because you fucking suck. You know, like that's why. You know, if you were capable, if you had an actual skill set, or you were freaking competent or something like that, you probably wouldn't be racist because you wouldn't have to freaking look for something to feel better about yourself. You know.
I'll say that about blatant.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay.
I know a lot of successful people that are still racist.
No. That's what I was about to say. I think I would make an addendum to what you said, Alone in the Dark. I would say I've never met, or I don't know anyone who's ever met, a blatant racist that wasn't a complete loser. I've met plenty of racists that are very successful, but they know how to keep their racism in check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a social situation, they can play the game and pretend like they're on board. In a private situation, they're absolutely racist. But in a social situation, they play the game.
You ask them with no pun, like you're just a stranger asking them. There's no way they can get in trouble for this. Are you racist? Do you hate black people or whatever the race is? Whether they'll say yes or no. There's people who say no, I don't hate black people. I just wish they don't get off welfare. Shit, like they're still racist, but they don't.
We definitely got some strong feelings about this.
Yeah. College Humor had a great video about it called they were selling a soda on the website called Diet Racism. Whereas like some big fat white woman is just like, well, my kids would have an easier time getting into college if they were minorities. And like she takes a sip of the Diet Racist soda. Or like the chick is like sitting there taking a sip. She's like, I'm not a racist, but I would never date an Asian person. You're like, I see what you did there. That's still a little racist, just so you know.
That's my drawing line between if you're a serious racist or if you're just, a freaking racist, That's when you're like a professional racist, is when somebody comes up and hate black people. Like, oh, yeah, hate them, okay.
Like, wow.
Professional at this, you're actually burning crosses.
Yeah. Like you're just waiting for the revolution.
Yeah.
One day all these niggers are gonna get up and take us down, and when it happens, me and Susie Q over here, my trusty shotgun.
Jesus.
Speaking of Susie Q, I'm sorry, I just saw a beautiful woman. Beautiful.
CCR.
We ready to segue though?
Yeah. I'm ready. That was my entire rant. I at this point I just see both sides of the debate. People that are fighting it, I completely understand. It was terrible. It was abhorrent. Fight on, brother. Keep the movement going. I'll take a break. People that aren't fighting it, I also feel you, man. It's exhausting. We'll chill on the sideline. Let these other freaking warriors do it, because I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
bills to pay.
You guys are in a target-rich environment. You know, that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. They're just.
Hey,
Yeah,
John,
exactly.
my,
I'm safe enough.
my thing with this is the change to make this all stop has to be on both sides, and we it can't happen if we're constantly going from one extreme to another on both sides. It just can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, and
it's never going to get any better.
I don't think, and I'll agree with you on that. I don't think enough credit is given for how far we've come.
No, I
We've
agree.
been, and don't get me wrong, we still have a long way to go. But in what category do we not have a long way to go? You know, like
In this
name a
country,
thing.
in
Yeah,
this
name a
country,
thing.
that doesn't exist.
Yeah, name a thing. We got a long way to go in
national
everything.
debt. Maybe national debt. We've gone almost as far as we can.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you wanna talk about sexual predators? Oh, we got a long way to go about it, but we've come a long way, motherfucker. You
Yep.
know, you wanna talk about spouse abuse? Yeah, we got a long way to go, but we don't have a TV show talking about a husband saying "pow" straight to the moon to his wife. That's a pretty big step, I think. You know, we're about to have our first TV show with a lesbian main character. That is not named Xena and is not a princess warrior, of course. That broad could beat me up any day. Her and Rhonda.
Oh, yes.
You telling me
That-
Justin Bieber's having a TV show now?
What'd you say? I wish. Ellen DeGeneres is actually doing, and it actually looks pretty funny. It's one of those awesome convoluted TV shows where it's a guy who's best friends with a gay girl decides that they're gonna have a kid because the gay girl wants to have a kid. So he sleeps with the gay girl, but then falls in love with a girl and starts dating her when the gay girl is pregnant. Shenanigans will ensue.
Yeah.
Sounds like some shit freaking Slow Chemical get into.
That does sound like a slow. That sounds like a moment in Slow Chemical's life.
Wow. Poor guy.
But about that segue, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
So what I wanted to talk about, and I saw this, it reminded me when I saw the picture posted by my grandma, of course, on Facebook, was this kid standing up doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and one kid sitting down, his feet kicked up. He's obviously the freaking troublemaker, right?
Rough stuff.
With a guy in a wheelchair and said, "Hey, whatever that kid's name is, hey, George, you don't have to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, but here's somebody who can't stand up because he served your country," or something like that, right? You got some wounded veteran here.
It's your right. It's your right not to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, but he can't stand up for defending that right.
There you go. Exactly, right? Which, of course, everybody's like, yeah, fuck that kid and all that stuff. But here's my issue is, I really don't think a Pledge of Allegiance and a free country go hand in hand together. Like, these are two separate causes that I don't believe.
Hold on a second. Alone in the dark. I have to tell you, I don't know whether it's just my screen here, but you're looking real pink right now, dog. Saying, little bit pinko there in the ears.
Pink in the ears? Some pink bang?
Wow. No, it's a communist joke.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit before my time, man.
Clearly. You young bucks, one day you'll learn.
But that's kind of my thing is, like us people who went into the military, I totally understand us doing a freaking pledge and us freaking swearing to the Constitution, shit like that. People going into public office, like politicians, shit like that, I think they should do the same thing. But your average citizen, pressuring them to do this shit is just seemingly completely contrary to the statement of our goddamn country, Like, we don't need to pledge allegiance to the country. That's not how it works. The country needs to pledge allegiance to its citizens. That's how this is supposed to be. The country is supposed to work for the citizens. It's supposed to be a organization. Everybody, like politicians, are supposed to be public servants, right? They're serving
Yeah.
their constituents, right? This is a complete backwards thought process when you do these whole pledges or shame these kids because they're not freaking pledging. Which, mind you, I'm not totally defending these kids. Usually when they're not doing this, they're just being a bunch of fucking assholes, okay? But beyond that, it's a ridiculous type of thing to me. And I just wonder, what do you guys think? I mean, do you guys feel we should do a Pledge of Allegiance?
You want to go first, Puppet Master?
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
So, absolutely, I think we should. Here's the reason why. All right. Part of the problem that we have in this country is lack of pride in this country. And I'm not saying that we should make the kids stand up and do it, but they should do it in the class. And if the kid wants to sit his fucking ass down, let the little punk sit his fucking ass down. You're right. It is the land of the free. You're free to fucking leave if you don't have pride in this country. That simple.
Mr.
Now, I'm torn because this goes. I've had about this particular topic. I'm very torn. Now, as a former military person, I really can't help it. If the Pledge of Allegiance is happening, I'm literally conditioned to stop and show some form of respect. Yeah, I can't even. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's been years, and still, if I hear Reveille, I get a little excited. My adrenaline goes up. I'm getting ready for shit. If I hear the national anthem, I'll tell you what. I've heard the national anthem twice since I've got out, and both times I didn't move. Not because I couldn't move, but because I didn't feel it was right to move during the national anthem. That's my bias, right? But there is a line between, how do I word this right? There's a line between pride and blind devotion. And I don't know if you start raising people to be that proud if it doesn't lead to blind devotion. If I have to give an answer for this, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I think to each his own because I don't know. Because my argument would be Nazis had tons of pride in their country. Maybe a little too much.
Okay.
Now again, that's a terrible and extreme example.
Hold on.
I completely see where that's coming from.
Now,
We're nowhere near that, but
Nazis and Germans. Nazi isn't a country.
Yeah.
Germany is a country. There's a difference. The Germans, yes, they had pride in their country. The Nazis had pride in their movement, which is a completely different story.
But here's the point.
The White Knights are right where they should be.
Yeah, but
that's what I was about to say. I was like, I get your rebuttal, but what other country does the Nazi have pride in?
One of the big statements for the Nazi Party was nationalism, and because of World War II or World War One, World War One, Germany was getting the shit stomped out of it. Nazis' big rallying call was, we should have more respect for our country than these people are doing. These other countries that beat us during World War One are now treating us like crap, and our politicians are just taking it. If you really love Germany, come to the Nazi Party, and we're gonna freaking make this a standard country again.
And again,
hold on, Dave.
nuts. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here's my thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, oh God. All right, so
yeah, this is a tricky one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's a tricky topic.
All right, so we talked about blind faith and blind whatever it is, pride or whatever it is you were talking about. All right, what was it you said? Blind what?
Devotion.
Blind devotion.
Blind devotion. All right, right now, if you were to take the average liberal or Democrat or liberal or conservative, doesn't really matter. All right, right in the middle, unless they've been around for a while and they actually know politics on both sides. All right in the middle, usually our age group and younger. Right, those cats right there have blind devotion and shit they have no fucking clue about. And it is putting us in a hurt locker, right? Yeah, all right. Maybe it has nothing to do with national anthem or having pride in your country, but there is a correlation there. We have less pride in our country. We encourage more freedoms, and people do whatever the fuck they want, but they also take less time to actually understand what's going on in their country, and then they express their stupid, fucking retarded opinion about shit that's going on in this country when you can't even hold a normal conversation with them. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for us not to do it, right? Give them the opportunity to actually do it. If you take it away completely, then you don't even begin to at least give the opportunity for people to have pride in their country, right? If they want to sit there and do not a goddamn thing, that's their own fucking business, all right? Leave it at that. But at least give the children the opportunity to actually have pride in the country that they live in. You have a choice to stay here or leave. That's part of your freedom as well. So if you don't enjoy this country, if you don't believe in this country, you are also free to get the fuck out. That simple.
See,
If you don't like it, then why are you here? Go to any other country. Go to any other country and try and compare that to this, and you'll be surprised. You know what? You'll come back singing the national anthem.
Shout out to Africa.
No, here's look, I see your point, man, and I agree, but that's okay. What do you say to the frickin'? I'm gonna use a role reversal here that actually Cold Conscience will understand. What do you say to the old white guy? The old white guy, right? That's living in probably a really horrible urban neighborhood, right? Really horrible urban neighborhood. Tons of pride in this country, you know. What?
Gran Torino? Talking about some shit like that?
Yeah, some stuff like that. But a lot worse than that. Gran Torino, that guy wasn't living in that bad a neighborhood, man. It was bad for white people. It wasn't that bad a neighborhood.
That was a good movie, by the way.
It was a great movie. Great. You know, it was really fun. But anyway, or the like the white guy who's done his best to live in an urban community and gets beat down by like minorities in that community, or the minority guy who has done his best to move up the societal ladder and he makes it into a nice suburban area, and then he turns out he's around SOE fraternity members who all live there. You know, you get your moments of doubt in this country. You get your faith can get really shaken if that guy loses faith. I mean, and again, I see your point. I'm just saying, when you start saying things like, if you don't have the faith, get out, it's like, man, some people got hosed and stuck around, man. That's devotion.
All right, well,
I couldn't blame them for leaving.
Check this out, all right? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, all right? They could have got burned, but I'll tell you what, the statement I made earlier is that it has to start somewhere, and it has to start united together. And that
I agree.
Is also pride in your country as a community, as a culture. We have to develop that. No, you can't do that if no one gives a fuck about where we're at.
That I can't argue that. Yeah, no, it's a point. I think it's a complex topic, man. When it comes to topics like this of high complexity, I defer to, you know what? I'm gonna teach mine to be prideful. I'm gonna teach mine to question, but to know what they stand for. And you teach yours whatever you want. That's usually what ends up happening to me with situations like that. I just go, I know what I'm going to teach my children. I know what I'm going to influence my family with. I know what I'm going to do when that national anthem plays. I know what I'll be doing. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to try my best not to judge you, because I don't know your situation. I don't know your mindset. But I actually agree with you more, Puppet Master. I think yeah, there should be a sense of pride in you know, your country, if not at the very least your state, if not at the very least your city, if not at the very least your block, if not at the very least your home. You know, it's got to start somewhere.
Here's my my contradiction to this, okay?
Rebuttal, baby.
My thing is there's a difference between America's myth and America's actuality, okay? To me, the thing I love about the U.S. is our mythology, okay? We love freedom. We love democracy. We want freaking democracy everywhere, this and that, blah, blah, blah. The whole 9 yards. That's the freaking America that I love, and that's the one I freaking look at. I love that aspect. I love people who love America for believing in that shit right there, okay?
That's
But
the
when
experiment.
the U.S. government actually does, it's a far fucking cry from the myth. And I'm not just sitting here bitching about Obama, okay? Throughout
Yeah.
our fucking years, whatever political parties in power, when you look at what we do, a lot of times we don't support democracy. We didn't support democracy in Iran. We went over there and fucking turned their fucking house to shit. We've done it. We've supported fucking dictators numerous times in our freaking history. We say everybody's got equal rights. We still haven't had a female head of state. 5 out of the 6 the most major Muslim countries have had female head of states. The U.S. hasn't done it once.
Here's what I'll
The
say.
wrong people up for.
Here.
When we say, if you don't like it, get out, well, what if what I don't like is what's not America, and that's the majority of what we do? I want this to be America that's the myth.
All right. Well, see.
Hold on. Puppet Master, let me tackle this real quick because I'll be quick.
I hope I don't forget.
Let me just no, it'll be quick and then you go on. Alone in the Dark. Could you agree there's always gonna be a difference between theory and the reality?
Oh, yeah.
Like we both love Freakonomics. What does that show spend its entire time doing? The book too. All they do is dispel myths, things that we believe that, well, when we do the numbers, it's different. Is it important? That's why we need people like that to do those numbers, because we need them to go, hey, I know you got these ideals and you think the ship is going straight. No, here's the truth. But I think that's actually part of the appeal. I think that's part of the pride. That being fallible means we're always striving. Having that myth hanging over us is always like I don't know any other country that has a myth like we do of always striving for that one word. There's no country that has that, like one word, freedom. That's literally, if you had a tagline from America, that is the American tagline, freedom. No other country has that tagline. It's kind of impressive. Now, we know countries that do freedom better than America, but no other country has that tagline to aspire to no matter what. So whenever there's a situation, 9 times out of 10, one of the biggest issues with anybody fighting that situation for or against it is that word. I think that's a kind of beautiful, man, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I agree. We're always going to have a long road to go, like we talked about earlier. We're always going to have aspects of our culture we want to work on. But my bad. Puppet Master, did you forget what you were going to say?
No. All right. So
Go ahead.
Here it is.
Go ahead.
All right. So this myth, this beautiful myth that we aspire for. All right. If you take pride away, that myth never has a chance of flourishing. Never. Because they have to have pride in it to want to change it. And if they don't have pride in it, they just accept where we're at, and we end up in the same fucking cycle every fucking day. At some point, they have to have the pride and say, this is what I want America to be. This is what I believe it should be in order to change it and be a part of the change. Otherwise, they literally got to sit on their ass at home and be like, fuck it. I don't care about this country. I don't care what the fuck's going on. What the fuck is Pledge of Allegiance anyway? You know, and here we are, same fucking place we are fucking 10 years ago.
Now, my thing is, when I've been to those schools, which I did go to some schools who were real, we did the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning. It was on it. You had your, you weren't a good student. It was like your Outstanding Citizen Awards or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
The way they really sold it was kind of like when I got into the military and we hit the chain of command. Here's your chain of command. You're going up through these ranks. Then you got the generals. Then you got the commandant. Then you got the secretary. All the way up to the president. These are your fucking bosses, right? Mm-hmm. But when you're a citizen, that's not actually true. These people, the supposed myth is they're supposed to be working for you.
Yeah.
They're not your boss, okay? They are doing stuff, providing a service for you. And I think this shit gets twisted where when you get this big nationalist feeling, you start twisting this whole ideal where the U.S. is right, the government's right, and that's how it's going to be. These other countries are fucking shithole. Like, for some reason, America has this big hard-on against France, talking about what fucking losers they are. Even though France has the best military record in the fucking history of the world, we're sitting here shit-talking France, calling them a bunch of cowards and shit like that.
God damn it, they gave us French fries. So
Hey,
Freedom fries, bastard!
hey, look, Alan, I will tell you, I think you're onto something there, but I don't think it's blind faith in the country that put us in this situation. I think it's lack of pride in the country that put us in this situation, because it was less involvement politically, less voters, less people giving a shit, and less oversight on the people that they were electing. They were literally either not voting at all or blindly voting for someone just because they were a particular party, and not really giving a shit about what the outcome was going to be if they voted somebody in that sucked, or if they sucked, they didn't go out and vote for the other person because they felt that was a better fit. I think it was the lack of pride that put us in the situation. I don't think it was the pride that put us in the situation. It was the lack of it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd blindly vote for that.
When you're looking at the difficulty for me is when I'm looking.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at a pretty woman. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, God. I thought you were talking about me. Damn it.
No. My apologies.
When
You had seen what I saw.
actually works, especially in the U.S. with the freaking electoral college, and you
That should go away.
how gerrymandered.
Yeah, that's very dumb.
How very little chance of change there is. It almost really doesn't matter. I mean, we're kind of getting told what we're going to do anyways. And if you throw a fit like, hey, this whole system's fucked, we need to throw it out, now all of a sudden you don't like America, you need to get the fuck out.
I don't think that's the same thing. See, whatever your political views is one thing, but your views on the pride of the country and where you want the country to go is where that puts me in a different spot. That puts me in a different corner than most people, I guess, or some people. I think if your political views are affecting whether you want to stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance or encourage kids to do that, then I think that's part of the problem as well. So.
But a lot of people kind of twist that whole get out of the country thing, like with the people wanting to remove all these Christian shit from government buildings. Hey, we said we're going to have a separation of church and state. We're not allowing any other freaking religion. We need this stuff out of here. Well, if you don't like it, you guys need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This is my view of the country. This is our founding fathers' view of the country also. This is why we're tying these two together. I'm not getting out. The country needs. I'm going to try and adjust the country to how I think.
And I'm right there with you on that. I don't think that. I think that's a very fucked up use of that phrase. You can get the fuck out. Even that's a fucked up phrase anyway. But I think that they chose. They had no other way to defend themselves other than that. And
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's not hide it. Anybody who argues against separation of church and state is just simply uneducated. That's it. It's not even.
Yeah.
It's not even a complex argument. It's just you've had no education. That's why you're basing that argument on an idea. You've grown up Christian, so somebody told you, "Oh my God, we were a Christian nation." It's like, no. In fact, if you know the history of this country, the very reason it exists is because people didn't want to be religiously persecuted. So you saying that we should have, in God we trust, on the money and all that stuff, you're literally arguing against the foundation of this country.
And that's kind of now the hard part of being an angle like this is usually our freaking mascots are the fucking dickheads. Okay, like that kid who's sitting down during the Pledge of Allegiance probably isn't doing it because he's not happy that the country isn't following the views of the founding fathers. He's probably just a son of a bitch, That happens a lot, Like,
they all seem to be related to Justin Bieber.
I have to temper that a lot. Like some kid got in trouble for what was it? I think he took a picture. Like they had a statue out front of a church of Jesus, and he took a picture mocking that Jesus was giving him a blowjob, and they charged him with a hate crime. And there was atheists defending him. I'm like, hold on a second. Let's not forget, this kid's a fucking asshole. That's. I don't care if he's a freaking atheist. Fuck that kid,
Well, I don't know. See, I feel weird about that position because
he was trying to get that Holy Communion, man. Leave him alone.
Oh my God. If you weren't going to hell before, you're going to hell now, dog. But I was gonna say, see, in that regards, I don't know if I would charge him for a hate crime. I think he should be punished or disciplined somehow, some community service or something, not a hate crime. Do you know how many awesome pictures of chicks pretending to give Ronald McDonald blowjobs, or statues hand jobs, or letting statues grab their eyes and nipples are online? Millions. I've yet to see any of those people get charged for a hate crime.
It's sacrilegious to do that to Ronald McDonald.
That's what I said.
No, that man's
damn. He is. Yeah. For real though.
He gave his life for your French fries, man.
The only clown who your kids can trust. I hope.
But that's a difficulty there. Is usually you're kind of caught in the process of defending the rights of a son of a bitch. But in the end, if they don't have rights, then none of us do. You know, like you can't pick and choose, and that's a lot of people don't see is when I hear people, hey, we're trying to change these rights so we can get those terrorists. You can't write laws saying, hey, we're just removing these rights just for these fucking terrorists. You got to take fucking everybody's rights, you know. And when it comes to a head is usually when there's an asshole caught in the middle, and he gets stuck defending their fucking rights even though you don't really want to, you know. It's like, yeah, he shouldn't be punished for this, but we probably should beat the fuck out of him after this whole thing's over, you know, like. He's still a fucking
fair. I think that's fair.
Yep.
That's my rant. Well, anybody got anything else to say?
Yeah, I'm all set.
You know, in the end, honestly,
It doesn't even matter. Ha! Lincoln Park.
That I honestly believe the
No. That was a Lincoln Park quote.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. Really?
Hello.
I got something to say.
I tried so hard.
Oh no! Sorry, co-conscience. Go ahead.
You missed mine. You missed my quote.
Oh, what was your quote? Sorry.
I tried so hard.
Ah, damn it. Damn it.
All right, hold on 1 second, co-conscious. Let me put my mouse over the stop broadcast button. Okay, go ahead.
I want to say more managers for working like that.
Wait, what?
I can hear you, man.
Did you hear me? Hello?
There you go.
Yeah, you sound distant.
Oh, my bad. I'm not sure why I was that. So, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? God damn it. God damn it. NSA, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure you can hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah.
awesomely now.
I want to say definitely, from the bottom of my heart, to my, managers at my job, fuck you guys. I'm not staying after. When you ask me to stay after, what the fuck? You got me doing all these tedious tasks, and then you try to get me to stay after? Fuck that. I clocked the fuck and I left. Fuck me.
Tedious. I think you're stretching the definition of the word tedious, my friend.
Just know that I get off at 11. Now 11:30. Now 11:05. 11. I clock in early. Clock leave early. Matter of fact, I clocked in at 10:55. It didn't get to 11. Stop trying to make me stay for stuff. I'm not staying. What part of I'm not staying? Do you fuckers not understand? I'm not gonna stay. You're not gonna treat me like a slave, goddammit. The other black people are gonna stay. I'll be damned. I'm working the field enough as it is already. I'm not staying. You asked me to do shit, I'm not staying. I clocked out, I waved, bye-bye, and I left.
I gotta ask a question. I'm not ruining your rant or anything. Have you ever actually seen like a cotton field? Like an actual one?
Yes. My family.
Like a real one?
Yes, my family.
Oh, well, my bad.
Yeah, you goddamn right.
You got real roots. I just had to check.
Bitch.
So
I'm
rude.
done.
Fair point.
I guess the show won't be late anymore because co-conscious isn't employed into it.
That one problem we had, employment, we solved it.
I'm actually waiting for them to fire me. Fire me! Because I put my head down so everybody can't see me.
I'm pretty sure I got pictures of you in the break room.
That's probably a good point. 'Cause I spend my time there in the break room. Goddamn it, that's like my life. You know what's bad when you
He's
know
like
what's bad?
He's Snapchatting himself taking Doritos off the shelf.
Like you know you've been in the break room for a long time when the one person who went on break with you comes back on their second break and is like, damn, you still on break? You goddamn right.
It depends how much of a fuck I don't give that day. I've done it before. I just sitting in the break room. They walk in. They look at me. I look at them. They're like, "Weren't you here like 10 minutes ago?" Or like I was here about 20 minutes ago. They're like, "How long's your break?" 15 minutes. How much longer you got to go? My answer is always the same. 5 more minutes.
Here's the crazy thing.
Never changes.
I never give a fuck. Can't give one. I can't find one to give. If I had one to give, I probably would give it. If I had a bag of fucks. If I had a bag
Take that. Take that. Bad boy, baby.
If I had a bag of fucks, why you hide your face, Lonely Dog? If I had a bag of fucks, and my manager asked for one because they needed it, I probably wouldn't have a fuck to give it.
That's just rude. Sometimes people need fucks, man. That's just rude.
Fuck them. That's the only fuck I give. Fuck them. Fuck if I give them when I give it to them. Goddamn.
So, this has been our show. Oh my god, that's pretty freaking funny though. But
rude.
I'm gonna shut this shit down. This is Alone in the Dark out of Colorado. Gonna be chastising my newly unemployed friend in just a moment.
Puppet Master, where I live, none of your business.
This is Jonathan Esther, sending a fresh shout out to PF Flyers. PF Flyers, they're still out there, baby. Nobody knew.
PF Flyers, our trademark is we still exist.
Exactly. Yo, might as well be. Shout out to PF Flyers. I just got some fresh. I had to choose between Converse and PF Flyers. PF Flyers were $11. That brand is my brand, baby. The funny part is, I actually think they're better quality than Converse.
For $11, huh?
Dude. Seriously, motherfuckers out there who don't have no PS Flyers, get yourself some PF Flyers, man. This shit is fucking, it's blessed. It comes with orthopedics inside. Inside! Jump higher! Run faster!
Man, how much they paying you, man?
Seriously, they might as well at this point.
You trying to supplement that income or what?
I'm a fucking fan.
I get a goddamn cold conscience. If you're Asian, please stay the fuck away from a car. You can't drive. I've been covered by 3 fucking Asians today. All of my eyes is closed. God damn it. Closed
The following statement
slouched ass. Oh, fuckers, stay out the car. Almost
The following statement is not supported by Dare to Disagree.
It's supported 100% by
And that would be the show, folks.
With that racist tirade, we are.
There's no racist here.
We close the way we start, baby.
Where's my now? I said that. Where's my goddamn chicken and watermelon at?
Oh, here we go. Let's go. Shut this thing down. God damn it.
It's a wonderful night.
You went too long.